Hello knitting friends. Today, as promised, I'm going to do a tips video, and today we're looking at how to knit up stitches when you are knitting things that include thumb holes or added little ears or arms and things to your toys. So this is how I like to do it. Obviously other knitters might have different ways, but this is how I add stitches by picking them up from my completed work. So as you can see, this is one of my little hand warmer knit patterns, and the way I've done it is to knit a piece in the round on a circular needle, and then I've left these stitches here on some scrap yarn ready to work the thumb section. So I'm going to show you today how I knit up stitches to create this little thumb sleeve. What do you call that? The thumb bit, that's what we're calling it. Okay, so we get our needles. Today I'm on 3.5 millimeters, and I'm just going to slide the live stitches from my scrap yarn onto a working needle, like so. I've got 6 stitches here, and once they're securely on there, I'm going to take my scissors and cut the scrap yarn because we don't need that anymore. See you later. Then, oh no, see, don't do that. Missed one. Okay, 6, 2, 4, 6. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my working yarn and I'm going to sew it into, didn't do that very well. I'm going to sew it, when this happens, you're getting all the tips from me. When this happens, I like to just cut that off. See you later. So you get your needle and thread with your working yarn. Then I'm going to go in here, so just the stitch under that, like so, and then I'm going to take it into the back and weave it through so that it doesn't pull out. And once we've weaved it through a couple of times, then, I'm wasting a bit of yarn there, we can cut that bit off. So, to knit up stitches, first we're going to start by knitting across our live stitches that were on the scrap yarn, 6 of those. And now I need to add 10 extra stitches to this piece to create my little thumb, what are we calling it? Thumb sleeve? Thumb bit. So what I like to do is I like to find stitches that aren't going to create a hole in your work. So that one looks pretty good to me, but I might go the one underneath. And I'm going to knit up 10 additional stitches. So I'm going to get my next working needle, go in there and knit it. So then that one here, I'm going to go under there. So that's going to be number 2. So we just put the needle through, wrap your yarn around, and then knit it as you normally would. And we've got working stitches there now. Now I'm going to go into this one here. Try and keep your stitches quite even. See how they're a similar spacing apart. Then I'm going to go into this one here. So you just pick it up on your needle, wrap your working yarn around, and you've got a new live stitch. And then we're going to go into this one here. It's a bit easier, you'll find, when you're picking them up horizontally as in compared to doing it vertically, but that's okay, we can make it work. So I've got 5 on that needle. Now I'm going to move to the next needle and 1. Grab this guy here, he looks quite secure. Actually, I might take that one. 2. Then, as you can see, the vertical ones are a little bit bit more wibbly wobbly, so you've just got to make sure you pick one that's not going to create a hole in your work. I'm going to take this guy because he looks pretty good. That's 4. And then I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to go the one underneath just to make sure I don't create a hole. And now you've got your 16 working stitches and we're back to the start of the row. So then you're ready to go. You might want to put a little stitch marker there to remind you. I just remember by going, okay, the one with 6 live stitches is my start row, but some people like to put a stitch marker. And then we just go around, and I'll quickly whip around here to show you how it looks, because if you do it correctly, you shouldn't really see a join in the yarn. It should just look like one piece of knitted fabric. Obviously when you block it as well, the stitches will just relax into each other and it will look a little bit neater. So we've just gone around one row, and you can see now we're ready to complete our thumb section, like so. So that's how I do it if I'm doing hand warmers. Let me show you how I do it when I'm working with toys. So this is one that I was working on last night. I'm making these little baby bunnies. And I like to, as much as I can, knit the ears and arms and legs and things from the working, the main fabric, because I just think it gives it a neater look than sewing everything in, and it's a bit quicker. So you see here what I've done is I've just measured where the other ear should sit, and I've just put my needles, my double pointed needles, underneath the fabric to just, you can see visibly there's some stitches there that I'm going to use as my foundation to pick up some stitches. So similar process for attaching your working yarn. Let's see if I'm any better at threading my needle. Haha. Thread your needle. What I do is, again, I try and put my working yarn as close as I can to this start point, and I pull it through to the back, and then I just weave it in a couple of times like so. You can put that needle away and then just trim that off. And then we've got working yarn ready to go. Grab my 3.25 needle this time, and I'm going to knit up 3 stitches on each side of this ear. So that's going to be my number 1. This is going to be number 2. So we'll have 6 working stitches all together. And then we turn to the other needle, and you're going to go back this way. So number 1. Sometimes you've just got to be careful that you don't pick up threads of the yarn that's already there. You've got to make sure you've just got your working yarn. So that's number 1, number 2, and number 3. And there we go. You've got 6 working stitches there ready to complete that ear on the other side. Hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if there are other knitting tips you'd like from me, and I hope you have a lovely knitting day.